everyone, and welcome to Forum Group Chats, hashtag the show must go online. We are talking to our industry and sharing information and tips about the new era of events. I'm Leanne Constantino, Director of Forum Group Events and Marketing, and I'm joined by my co-director, Lauren Haywood.
Hello.
And today we are joined by Terry Holdershaw from Scotia Events. Scotia Events is an event production and audiovisual company based in Toronto, Canada. They've been around for just under 20 years in the business of AV, and they have experience in producing all types of events, most recently including live stream and virtual events. He's joining us today from his studio. Thanks for joining us today, Terry.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So Terry, you're in the AV business in Canada and COVID-19 hits. Physical events disappear and you've had to make a shift to virtual event tech support. Can you tell us a bit about that journey and what's been your biggest learning or challenge?
Sure. So we had one event cancel pretty early on us, which was late January, and the news barely had kind of come in that there was this virus in China that was spreading, and we didn't think much of it until like early March, when, you know, every time the phone rang or email came in, it was an event that was canceling or postponing or asking what they could do. And then, you know, middle of March, here everything shut down, and we weren't allowed to have events at all. So, and it's still pretty much like that. It's starting to ease up a little bit. So we had been using Zoom and some other live stream platforms for quite a while in our live event business for bringing in remote presenters, or say like an office was streaming it out to other offices in different locations. So what they're calling like a hybrid event now, as things are starting to open up. So we had a bit of experience with that, and some of our clients right away in March started bringing us on board to do their virtual like Zoom tech support from our home type of thing, setting up their accounts and registration, and then running the back end, sharing files. And then you know, when it became apparent that it was going to last a long time, we started looking at how we can add some production value and you know, make use of some of our equipment and staffing and our space. So I partnered with a friend of mine, EJ Entertainment, and we've done a lot of work over the years in the in-person events. So he had the space, and we combined efforts with our equipment, and we built like a studio in his warehouse, and started doing virtual events from here. So you get like pro cameras, lighting, staging. It's like a TV studio for dedicated to streaming. And from there, we just started promoting that, and you know, that's kept us in business. So
you were doing virtual from the get-go, from the first announcement. It just was a quick shift and adaptation for you. And
like a quick decision, and to try to be one of the first ones in the area to be doing it, and you know, that always helps.
Yeah, and we met through a Facebook group that was talking about, communicating about virtual events and attending a virtual event on virtual events. And there's this thing called Zoomzilla, which was how the event was held. And we've seen Oprah do it, we've seen Tony Robbins do it. But the thing is, anyone hosting an event, whether they're a business owner or marketing manager, event manager, or CEO, they can set this up and run a 3-hour or 3-day virtual event from their home with this type of setup. And we're doing this for a client workshop coming up in a few weeks, and you are a pro at these setups. For those that don't know, tell us what a Zoomzilla setup is, and at what point should you get that external event tech help?
Sure. So Zoomzilla, the term, I guess, refers basically to an area that you're dedicating to your streaming, whether it's on Zoom or any platform. So typically, you know, the basics would be like a computer or laptop, a camera, microphone, some sort of backdrop, and lighting, and an interface connecting your camera and your microphone to your computer. And, you know, obviously you have to have internet, and most of the time when you consider it a Zoomzilla, you have at least one TV for a gallery view so that you can see the audience. And that's kind of the basics that you see people doing either in their office or at their home, or even small production companies, video companies, AV companies setting this up in their office or warehouse. And then it can grow from there to, like you mentioned, the Tony Robbins one, like a massive production with, you know, surround screens, or the one you mentioned there, the virtual events, you know, something like 12 TVs for gallery views. We have like about 6 in our studio. So we consider ourselves like a medium-sized, if you want to call it a Zoomzilla studio. The easiest way will be for just to show a 1-minute video of one of our clients that did a really kind of cool interactive tour of the studio. So let's play the video.
Have you had a good time? Has this been a good use of your time? Yes? No? Awesome. What an absolute treat to hang out with everyone today. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge everybody in the studio who helped to put this together. From Andrew behind the camera, if you can just put your hand in front of the camera. We've got Emily over here. I want to take you on a quick tour so you can see how this whole thing rolled out, right? So you saw me on the stage here and you got to see my view, but take a look at this. Patrick is running, can you see these screens over here? So this is all of the Zoom rooms. So each laptop is a different Zoom account and they're all connected to each other, and he's controlling which things go where, and he's also handling the microphones. And then I want to come back over here. Come in. So this is Elliot, Terry, and Andrew. And there, take a look, zoom in here. This is the control room where they've been controlling everything and making sure the videos get out properly and handling each of the Zoom rooms and stuff. And
so that's kind of the idea of the look from the stage, having the TVs, and then there's a camera in between the TVs. So when you're looking at the audience on the TVs, it feels like you're talking to them.
Yeah, I think,
and a lot
that's why it's so well received by audiences. You're able to replicate that engagement, right?
When they first realized that, like we've done a couple interactive ones. One was actually like a DJ on the stage here doing live requests for a company like lunch appreciation. And, you know, they weren't expecting to have their cameras on. So we had a camera from behind. When they could see themselves on the screens, it was, you know, more people were turning their cameras on, and they were doing like crazy things because we would spotlight them, and they were doing things to see what, you know, what they could do to get spotlighted on the camera. So different than just a webinar or a live stream, like one way.
Yeah, definitely. So Terry, you've worked on obviously a few virtual events now, including one coming up in Australia, a big 3-day conference. It's so cool with virtual now that we can be working with people all over the world. So tell us, what are some of your top tips for being a virtual event ready in your home or office?
Sure. So the number one thing, like if there's one tip we tell everyone is your internet. If you're sharing your video and audio or screen, you really need to have good, fast, high-speed internet. Ideally hardwired connection to your computer or device, and the upload speed is the most important. So most of the communication companies all advertise their download speed, but if you're able to upgrade your internet, pay attention to the upload speed. And if you're going to be doing a lot of streaming or video conferencing, I would go for the fastest that you can get. That's the best way to improve it. I'm sure we've all seen like a presenter and their video is all pixelated. It looks like Minecraft or something like that, and the audio's kept cutting in and out. Other than the internet, a USB web camera and a microphone, and paying attention to the lighting. So if you have light in front of you, it's much better than behind you. So if you're in front of like a big window or something that's letting a lot of light in behind you, maybe change the position or drape that and put a lamp or some sort of light in front of you so you're lighting your face instead of your background, and you'll get a much better quality video even with a camera built into your computer.
Awesome. Okay, so I've taken upload speed, have a light in front and not behind, and just spend a few $100s on a good webcam and a good microphone.
Yeah, and position the camera if you can, like eye level.
Yeah, so it's not facing down. Yes, we've seen so many different webinars, webcasts where they're all different angles, and
You see someone's forehead.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's all we have time for today, and thanks so much for joining us today, Terry, with all your tips and you know, examples and your Zoomzilla. Love seeing what you guys are doing. Make sure you go check out Scotia Events and follow them on social media. Also make sure you're following Forum Group and social media for updates on the latest Forum Group chats. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next episode.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.